Gamers are almost ready. They're just going through. I think they already did their feeders, but we're trying to figure out how we're going to start. But I think we're just starting on the server that we are currently on, which is Europe. We'll do Europe, NA, and if we do go to game 5, which obviously would be fun, we'll flip a coin. Can the USA end it with the one thing that they hate, and that is a draw? Or will it just be the UK today? FIGARO has been very good in the past. These days, I don't know how much he plays. I think he sometimes like takes a bit of a break and then he's a bit less active. And at least recently I played him on the ladder and his MMO is quite low, but I can see that he has already recovered a bit. Acheron is a very active American Protoss player who did not shy away from the challenge when I proposed it. He's like, yeah, we have pretty fun games. It goes pretty back and forth. So he said he was down for it. And I hope it's going to be fun. Let us have a fun long series with a couple of close games. A little bit like Heaven, Gamer Richie, Game 3. We made that one very close, Heaven. Very close. But it was good entertainment. Casual 5-minute fight. The game deciding fight lasted for 5 minutes. Yeah, when you have +2 zealots, you feel very confident. But mines, they don't really care. And like 1 mine is like, okay, 2 mines is kind of annoying. But if it's like 3 or 4 mines, you can have 15 +2 zealots, but they can disappear so freaking quick. It was fun, but you did a good job in the end. Energy recharge for the win. And the initial force fields, I think, were quite good. Getting rid of a couple of the Marines, a lot of the SCVs, it all helped. And firing up Storm when he did, may have been a game-winning choice after all. Because at one point it just becomes hard. If you're down like 30, 40 supply, even if you have +2 armor, it just becomes really hard to win the fight. Maybe 13 gates was also pushing it a tiny bit. Maybe like 8, 9, 10. 8 the lowest, I would say 10 the max. Yeah, you had 13. That's a lot of gates. Go for it, guys. Close with game hard, please. When you can. Alright. Wanna maybe grab myself some. Maybe I'll just get some water. I don't know. I still have some. Maybe we're okay. Do I want to do something after the big brain bouts tonight? I think I'll just have food. I'm actually kind of hungry. Didn't eat much. What did I eat? No, I didn't eat much. Maybe some late night gaming. Maybe a little bit of F1 practice. Way later. Big F1 weekend. I need to score some points. Been slacking. Need to make up for it. Alright, game is ready. I'm ready. Good luck, guys. A $200 best of 5 between FIGARO and Acheron. Or Acheroni. Whatever he wants. I think I'll go with Acheron. Happy 4th of July is what FIGARO says. The mind games. We're gonna kick things off on ley lines. It is fun to have a big brain bouts again, guys. We are obviously gone for a little while. We had so much trouble. We went to Japan, we went to Korea, we went to Bulgaria, we had TwitchCon in RotterdaM, we had EWC qualifiers, but we're back. Friday night once more is the big brain bouts night. And we should have another one next Friday and even the Friday after that, which is 1 day before the Esports World Cup. But I think we should just do it. I think that's a great way to send off the stream before we go to Saudi Arabia. But that's 2 weeks from now. Right? 4, 11. Actually, it would be 2 days. It would be 18. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. Top right side, an American Protoss who's been very active over the last 12 months, give or take. It is Acheron. The man has been grinding, putting in the work. He DM'd me a while ago about a match. I forgot who he wanted to play, but basically said, Roddy, I'd really love to play Big Brain Bouts again. I want to play this dude. That didn't really work out because this was obviously a themed Big Brain Bouts, where it's all UK against the US of A. But we can always make that happen again. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of our UK Zerg. He has gone to countless epic lands. Very nice guy. Got to meet him once at the Home Story Cup. I like him a lot. It is FIGARO. Goes for most of the UK lads, to be fair. And lastest, I got to meet Empress Lily? Empress, yeah, that's her name, right? See, I got to meet her at the most recent home store cups. She's very nice too. Super nice person. So bubbly, so happy, so energetic. Always fun to meet people for the first time. That I've seen their streams up, but I never got to meet them in real life. I think Lily is very sweet. I like her a lot. What are you guys voting for? Zerg or Protoss? What is it going to be? Mostly in favor of FIGARO, but not overwhelmingly in favor. When they got to meet me, I've got to meet you so many times there. But I always love meeting you, mate. I think you're awesome. There's only one thing that sometimes annoys me from you, and that is that you keep on like, I love how you attend every single Starcraft event, but then you're always yapping about how much better Brood War is. And I was like, alright, shut up. I get it, you love Brood War, that's fine. But you love Starcraft 2 as well. So why put down one when you love the other? You love both. No need to put a beautiful game down. But I love you, Aaron. I think you're a great member of the community. And you know that. I don't need to tell you that. Terrible polka dot. But that's not a crime. One gate, a Twilight Council for Acheron. That's actually a tiny bit surprising to me, as obviously almost everyone plays Stargate. I think playing Twilight Council is pretty hard, man. It's just like a few things that have changed about the way that this matchup flows and this matchup plays out. That in my eyes makes it a lot harder to play Twilight, but... Who are the new up-and-coming Zergs this year? I'd say if you're truly looking for a new and up-and-coming Zerg, GG Machine is a 15-year-old kid from Russia who's turning 16 in a couple months. And I think the moment he turns 16, you'll probably see a little more of him on this channel. That kid is legit very good. If he keeps on playing the way that he has been playing over the last 12 months, you're gonna see a lot of him. I'd say he is the biggest up-and-coming Zerg. Yakov has been around for a long time, and I love Yakov. It was so fun to meet him in Bulgaria. Super funny guy. We had so much fun with him. Yakov really is a great human. I like him a lot. But I wouldn't quite say that he's new. He's definitely still getting better. I agree with that. But he's not new. But GG Machine is, I'd say, kind of new. You want to hear more about these illegal moves at the poker table? I forgot the exact details, but there was another hand where someone literally had the absolute stone cold nuts, and someone bet and they just called. It's like ace high flush on a non-paired board, and somebody bet and the ace high flush just called. And I was like, hey, that's actually illegal in a casino too. You're not allowed to just call with the nuts. You're supposed to raise here. They're like, oh, I didn't know. I was worried. I was like, oh, for what? We've got an ace high flush on a non-paired board. There's nothing to be worried about. But these things happen at Home Story Cup Poker. So it is 4-gate Resonating Glaive Adept. Yeah, you've done it in the past. I know you did it. Serious prediction. I kind of think FIGARO is going to get it done in the end, but I don't know. Acheron could absolutely surprise me. Curious to see what he's going to do here. So far, we've got a lot of adepts at the third. We have the War Prism sitting pretty close to the natural. It's not even 5 minutes into this game. And we've got 12 adepts. There is no lair yet. What I'm always worried about though, guys, is when you open up like this as a Protoss, it's like, what if the Zerg builds nothing but units and they counter? He never plays Stargate? Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, adepts do not quite want to commit that to the Queens. I'd cancel that shade for sure. Almost feel, guys, that we maybe could have right-clicked the adepts here a tiny bit closer to get up nice and close to those Queens and start gunning down the Queens. The first one and the second one. Oh, can he? No, he's gonna do that. He is getting close to the Queens. He's gonna get the first. Does not quite get the second. A lot of Lings are counterattacking on the other side of the map. That's gonna be a cancel. You have to... Oh, no, he doesn't cancel. He thinks a couple of adepts can save the day, but they cannot. So that's a dead Nexus. And that also means that the fast warp-in becomes a slow warp-in. So now these adepts are in trouble too. Fantastic counter here by FIGARO. Very, very well done. Very well done. Biggest win of the game, absolutely. It wasn't looking too bad for Acheron, I think, but not cancelling that Nexus and warping in the adepts there was a mistake. We are, of course, playing the first game on the European server. Could have something to do with it, but he had time to cancel it, and he should have just cancelled it. The moment you see that many Zerglings on top of an exposed Nexus, you have to know that it's... where are all the drones here, by the way? Man, we panic. First, okay. Good War Prison play. Yeah, a little bit risky, but we get away with it. Acheron would have been in a great position if he just cancelled the Nexus. Then I think legitimately he'd be flying here in Game 1. Losing that Nexus, losing the Pylon, losing the Adepts. Like the Pylon, sure, whatever. But the Adepts and the Nexus were not supposed to go down. We win these? He's definitely not dead. Like, he is building up a pretty strong army at home. We've got sentries, we've got immortals, so he's not dead. And FIGARO doesn't have a crazy amount of creep. Did he lose any twins, by the way? Yeah, I lost 2 twins. I do favor this for the Zerg, especially once Bailing speed is done, but it's not impossible for the American Protoss. Absolutely not. Dark Shrine. 7-minute 30-second Dark Shrine. That could come as a bit of a surprise. So there is a chance that FIGARO might make a big attack with a lot of Roaches, Lings, Ravagers, couple Bailings. If then DT show up and you don't have an Overseer, that could become quite problematic. Once more, $150 for the winner of this best of 5. So that's obviously awesome for these guys. A single series. They don't need to be Clem or MaxPax or anything. It's $150 for the winner of this best of 5. And the loser will still get 50 for playing. So I think a pretty good 4th of July regardless. But I'm sure that Acheron really wants to win it. It's going to be difficult to deal with this. It's not impossible. It's definitely not an impossible hold, but it's going to be so hard. The force fields are going to have to be excellent. Life would have been so much better if he had a cannon or 2 or a shield battery or 2. It comes down to execution, but I think FIGARO has the right amount of units to get the job done here. But can Acheron pull off some miraculous force fields? The first ones go down. Those are pretty good Veiling connections. These are not the miraculous force fields we're looking for. I'm afraid that the Protoss army is way too exposed here. The War Prism, I think, is still on the other side of the map. And we desperately need the War Prism at home here to save the Immortals, to pick up some sentries or whatever. Right before a blink, like seconds before a blink too. Incredibly good timing by FIGARO. Sometimes there is obviously a little bit of luck involved with moments like this. You just decide to send it. You can't really be aware of when blink is gonna finish up, but he did that incredibly well. What he was aware of is that the War Prism was on the other side of the map. And that is bad news. Pulling off a hold like this without the Prism is almost impossible. A couple of the Zerglings do go down to the Ravagers. It's nice Zealot Warp in here, actually. Can he save that Immortal? He saves it. It's really good, but I'm afraid it's a little bit too late. Snipes the Overseer. Now we can warp in DTs, right? Snipe the Overseer, guys. We'll be able to hold, but losing 17 probes. He actually goes for the offensive DT warp in, which I do understand. He probably feels that he is so far behind that he needs something crazy. He needs something magical. And he's going to hope that the DTs can do it. Well, we're going to need a couple of units at home as well. Okay. What do we get? Man, what are we doing? Oh, the DTs wasted a lot of time. These DTs could have done a lot more than they end up doing. Now there are some Overseers in the mix here already. It's not going to be good enough. DT in the natural gets taken care of. And the 3rd base gets saved. FIGARO has got a 4th base as well. 44 workers against 44 workers is normally pretty good for the Protoss, but not having any army, only having 2 bases is, I'm afraid, for Acheron impossible. Not giving up yet though. Our man is a warrior. There are openings for the DTs, to be fair. Overseer is not in the correct position. One DT is gonna swipe up a couple drones over here at the 4th. Now we have a DT in the natural doing some good work as well. This is really good damage. If we didn't lose all the Immortals earlier, like let's say the War Prism is there to save it, I'd be like, you know what? I can see a follow-up push. Get something done. Right now I'm afraid the game is just a bit too far gone. But I love the fact that he's trying. You can always use these moments as well to shake off the jitters a little bit and just find your comfort zone. I like Frankenhans. That's a great name, mate. That is a great name. This War Prism has been low on HP, but it's just been around forever. Shut up quite a few times. Acheron with his blink stock is moving out, but he's gonna try to blink into the low ground or onto the low ground. A few of the Zerglings, just not quite enough to get the wraparound. I think FIGARO can just grab everything he has and end it. I understand a tiny bit of fear of like right when he moves out again DT show up and he might lose even more probes and drones, excuse me, and if he then doesn't end the game could be dicey, but I think he's alright. And I think he knows he's alright as he's morphing 22 additional banelings, so 7 banelings, that's cool. 29 banelings, that's mega. And those 29 bangs, it should be able to seal the deal. Sentries on the left, not quite done yet. That's so many banelings. And they're gonna connect with the heart of the Protoss army, and that shall absolutely do it. FIGARO from the UK is gonna take the 1-0 lead after a 13-minute game on ley lines. And game 2 though will be played on the American server. And Acheron can obviously pinpoint where this went wrong, like losing 400 minerals on that Nexus. That's omega painful. Warping in the depths. So some people are not totally aware of how this dynamic works. But you obviously have 2 warp-ins in StarCraft 2. You got the quick warp-in and the slow warp-in. Quick warp-ins is in the green power field. Slow warp-ins are on the blue power field. Now you don't need a warp gate. You can also have a pylon connected to a Nexus to get quick warp-ins. But if your Nexus dies in the middle of your warp-in, your quick warp-in actually becomes a slow warp-in. So then those adepts that he warped in, they're gonna take forever before they're done. And then you don't just lose the Nexus, but you actually lose an adept as well. You take a lot of damage on the second adept. And it just all goes from bad to worse. But it's alright. I think there is room to improve. There is absolutely reason to dream for Acheron. Especially if he starts playing on the American server. He's got ping advantage. I am, however, a tiny bit worried. If he never plays Stargate, I feel like you're a bit vulnerable to all-ins. Like, a lot of the Twilight builds are just not as good against certain Zerg all-ins, Zerg shenanigans in the early game, as Stargate are. Like, Stargate is almost impossible to cheese. If the Protoss player goes 1 gate, fast expand Stargate, it's almost impossible to cheese it. Twilight Council, I do think you can abuse. Do you lose full cost of the unit that dies while being warped in? Absolutely. You only get money back if, for instance, people kill the pylon. If you're warping in 3 adepts and you kill the pylon, Protoss gets the money back. But if you kill units that are being warped in, you lose 100% of that investment. I hope that all makes sense. I think it does. And obviously I know that 95% of you guys know it, but 5% of the people may not be totally aware of how those things work out. Yes, if you have a warp prism and you warp in units and you cancel that warp in, you also get all the money back. But if you warp in units in a warp prism that get killed, let's say a bunch of roaches shoot and kill the unit, you don't get money back. Throughout history, a lot of Terrans and Zergs in particular have said they don't think the dynamic is fair, that Protoss can go for a really bad warp in on a prism and then cancel it and get all the money back. Or that if you kill a pylon that has a bunch of units warped in, that they get all the money back and that the cooldown gets reset immediately. Which, I guess I can understand some of that frustration. I love having the little fan on my right, but I also feel like that is actually what's hurting my voice a little bit. Because all day long I've got like wind blowing in my face, but otherwise it's just too damn warm. At this point it's 9 PM, so it's not that warm anymore.
Round 2, fight!
Here we go. Game 2, main event, Big Brain Bouts 97. Obviously a bit of a community edition, but I hope you guys have still enjoyed it. We are looking at the main base of the American Protoss player. Down 0-1, it's Acheron. Not to be confused with the Spanish Terran Aquaron. It's close, but not quite. One is from Spain and plays Terran and a lot of Protoss, to be fair. The other one is from the United States of America. I think mostly plays Protoss, or only plays Protoss. Top right side, one of the UK lads, a super nice and handsome dude that I got to meet once at the Home Story Cup. And he's gone to a lot of the epic lands. It is FIGARO, up 1-0. Thank you to BASILISK for the 37 months. A lot of love today, guys. A lot of subbies, resubbies. couple PayPal donations. I got $10 in bits from Locals viewers. Super awesome to see a lot of you guys who tune in on the Friday night. Obviously, I'll do my absolute best to make sure that next Friday and the following Friday we have some banger BBB lineups lined up. Probably at least get a couple of the Basilisk boys to have one last public dance before we send them off to the Esports World Cup, if they want that is. Obviously, I'm not going to force the guys. If Reynor says, sorry mate, I really don't want to play, that's fine. If Trigger says he doesn't want to play, or Serral says he doesn't want to play, obviously I'll respect it, but I will at least propose it, and I think they'll be down to do like one little fun series, or maybe even some off-race. Thank you to Ember Drake for the 91 months, and thank you to EC for us, even though that message makes me a tiny bit sad, but I appreciate the love, matey. We have Reynor and Serral TVT. There is history, right, between them in TVT, so that could be fun. Reynor BASILIsk TVT. Honestly, after that BASILIsk performance at the Home Story Cup, yeah, that'd be cool. I definitely want to invite BASILIsk either next week or the week after that, because he obviously deserved it. One of the most fun things for me about the Home Story Cup, other than the great weekend with the community members and everybody that I love, was the performance of the youngsters. Fiont taking down Mana, I think, was really freaking hype and obviously a fantastic result. Sabadas played freaking amazing and was so close to advancing from his group. Like 1-1 against SOS. If he wins that final game, PvP, he advances. And of course, BASILIsk, freaking amazing performance by him. Going 4-0 in his first 4 games. 1-1 with ShoWTime. That's what we need, right, guys? We cannot live on Maru and Serral forever. We're gonna need a newer generation of players to also become so freaking good that it's really entertaining for us to watch. Honestly, I think the kids at Home Story Cup had a great showing. We have a early Baneling nest, so FIGARO is potentially gonna try to deal here with the Resonating Glaive Adept opening with Banes. You guys have heard me speak about this a million times in the past. I think Baneling defense can be very good. A lot of Zerg players disagree with me, and they say that the Baneling defense is too unreliable, too inconsistent, and that Roaches is just a bit safer. But with Banelings you can really get that slam dunk defense. BASILIsk vs Spirit, the rematch, I wouldn't quite go with that. I would go with something else. We have a wall up. Scouting the Baneling nest, by the way, is quite big. Cancels though, no Resonating Glaive Adept yet. Oh, this is a rough start. He's gonna lose 3 out of 5 Adepts. 3 out of 5 Adepts and a recall. I guess acheron was just full of conviction that FIGARO was not going to cancel that Evo Chamber early on. Oh my goodness, he still doesn't have Glaive Adept, by the way. So now he's in danger of losing a few more. He will get at least a couple of the Zerglings. And he's gonna be okay in the end, but it's a bit painful. Another 20 buckies got sent to me. I don't know by who, but thank you so much. We're cooking today. We're covering Vicky's Volvo, guys. It's not a total disaster yet for acheron, but it's just, you send me gifts. Ah, that's very sweet of you. Thank you so much, mate. Can we get a queen with energy? Yes, we can, but here come those Banelings, and those connections are good, man. Acheron just has no fear at all. But maybe we need a little bit of fear. Like, Resonating Glaive Adepts are good against Lynx, but if we know there is a Baneling nest, if we know there could be Banelings out there, you cannot be making a shade like that. That's just crazy. That was very clean on FIGARO's side, who's now confident to go up to 4 bases. Still has Lynx left over. 3 random Adepts. We're gonna let the shade finish up, yes, but and FIGARO is all over him. The UK Zerg with incredibly clean, sexy defense against these Adepts. I do think acheron is making a couple of questionable decisions. It started off with the first one. Before Glaive Adept is done, maybe we shouldn't let that shade finish up. Maybe we shouldn't open the doors for our opponent to cancel that Evo Chamber. Is this a... Ooh, this is risky. We have no shield battery here. Thank the Lord there are no Banelings in the mix. Well, economically it's not a disaster yet for acheron, so that's the bright side of life. The downside is that it's obviously 4 base against 3 base. Oh, these Stalkers, they don't have blink. We are going to drop a couple force fields. Okay, this is actually working out for acheron. Lost only one. That's reasonable. Couple banelings, they didn't get much done. We need to kill our pylon, by the way, because now our probes are derping in the main. Alright. Decent sequence of events here for the American Protoss. But after killing that pylon, he is supply blocked. That is actually very annoying. I don't know if anybody would agree, but I'd kind of love a Robo Bay and a second Robo here. Oh, yeah. This is risky. This time the Zerglings have +1 melee. And +1 melee Zerglings. They love feasting on just a couple Stalkers. At least acheron is no longer supply block. He's losing so much. Really painful to lose that many Stalkers way before a blink is done. 5 is a serious number. We do have a nice little observer, guys, on the other side of the map. That's giving us some good info. Lurker then is done. Or not done, sorry. I'm distracted. Bit out of it mentally, but it's all good. Lurker then on the way, Hive on the way. We have dropped the Robo Bay, and I kind of like it, even if disruptors suck in this day and age. I think going for some Colossus to make your life so much easier against the Zerglings, the Banelings, is not a bad play. Yes, Colossus suck against Lurkers, but that's something we can worry about way later. Kind of gearing up for big Stalker Colossus Immortal army. Do we have any Immortals? One. No. I do like the Colossus. I like Colossus a lot more than Disruptors here, but DT Shrine might be good here. Yeah, 0 Spore Crawlers indeed, and only a single Overseer. I don't hate that call. By the way, all game long, Figaro has been trying to sneak slow Banelings into this mineral line. And all game long, acheron has had a good response. Blink. That is a good blink, mate. Well done. Very well done. I can ask them to change the colors. Yeah, sorry. I'm normally not that bothered by like colors that look a lot alike, as long as it's not a mirror, but I know it's annoying for some of you guys. So I'll ask them to play something else. This has some potential, right, guys? Adapts in the third, adapts in the natural. It's not much. It's also a scout at least. I'm never that worried if this is my Protoss army and I've got a bit of money in the bank as well and I've got double Robo against Lurkers. What I do start worrying about is the moment that Vipers show up as well. Vipers just complicate everything. Abducts is so freaking annoying. Blinding Cloud is so good against Mass Ground. I hope that acheron is a lot better in using this army and then some High Templars for feedback than I am. As long as we get some High Templars to also feedback the Vipers, we're okay. Without Vipers, I think we are in trouble. How good is Figaro's Viper? I can guarantee you that it's going to be very good against the Protoss without any High Templars. Because all the Zergs, it is very good in that stuff. He doesn't have any Vipers yet, but he can obviously get them in the near future. acheron is making a disruptor now. Against supply block, by the way, and we have a lot of money in the bank. Need to fix our supply blocks and let's hope we cancel this Nexus. Amigo, it's the American server. This is not supposed to happen. No, never a Kappa. I will never do that. I think that's a very bad way to watch Starcraft. People will have different opinions about it, but I've had polls about it as well. And like 85% plus loves watching Starcraft like this. So no, that is not something I'm going to change, but I will obviously. I can ask them to change the colors, as now a couple of the sentries get caught in the middle of nowhere. The Nova is decent, but not decent enough to obviously kill Lurkers. There is so many Lurkers. We're gonna unburrow everything one more time. Can you jump on this? Can you ever jump on this? He feels like he's got no choice, so he is gonna do it. It is very, very risky. We're gonna wipe in a couple of Zealots. The Stalkers are melting. The Colossus is dying. Another Colossus is dying. And Figaro with some power. Zerg just ran everything through that choke point, unburrows everything, moves it forward again, and gets the job done. Before Adrenal Glands even finished up, before a single Viper made it on the battlefield. Gets it done, takes the 2-0 lead. And since we are in NA, I'd say, I don't know if they're here.
My Wi-Fi.
Everybody needs a cold pint to fight the heat.
Thank you so much, mate. Maybe I'll have one after the stream tonight. I don't know if it's gonna be a cold pint. I don't even know if I have any traditional beer. Maybe I've got some Hoegaarden, but I don't know what I'm gonna have tonight. I'll have something. I know that the Club World Cup is continuing, and there's one match going on right now, Fluminense Al Hilal, that I'm kind of interested in. Obviously, very interested in the Palmeiras match at 3 a.m. So maybe we'll have a very late night beer while watching the Brazilians. I guess we go EU. I guess they have already swapped servers to Europe, so I'll swap servers as well. 2-0 lead for FIGARO. And we're going back to Europe. Somebody needs to tell acheron to cancel a Nexus. It will go a long way. And obviously the starts are just not quite it, right? This game going to be good. Both teams play very open. We're going to see goals. I love goals. But yeah, I think that one is going to be fun. But I think Fluminense game is kind of fun as well. It's nice that also the European Championship of ladies football is going on, because I think that's very fun to watch as well. So a lot to look forward to, even though I don't think the Dutch team is going to make it out of the group. England and France probably too good. But I like cheering a little bit for the ladies too. It's why not? If there is no club football, if there is no Feyenoord, if I have to count down the days to the Esports World Cup, I'll definitely watch some of the ladies too. Alright. And it's an F1 weekend, so that's very fun. I obviously always love F1 weekends. Let's see, guys. Will it be the UK closing it out at 3-1 in the end? And will they be the official winners of this 4th of July Independence Day themed Big Brain Bouts? Or can acheron turn things around? Thank you, Amber Drake, for gifting a subby to Pigeon Wrench. I really appreciate you, matey. Oh, he's such a nice guy. You're really into sports. You do any sport yourself. This Home Story Cup was the most amount of sports that I think I ever did at a Starcraft event. I arrived on Thursday and we played Padel with the Discord guys, and yeah, mostly just like the Discord community showed up for Padel. From Padel, we straight went to football that was organized by Lambo. I didn't play too much football because I was really tired already after 3 hours and 30 minutes of Padel. But still tried to play a little bit. I was just dead at one point, but it was really fun. Friday morning we woke up and we went straight to go-karting. Now go-karting is not like the most intense thing ever, but 40 laps in a row is still pretty intense, right? You start feeling that in your arms, you start feeling that in your shoulders. So it was really fun though, super good time. And then on Saturday evening, Lambo and Elaser never played Padel, but they also really wanted to try it out once. So we once again drove to the Padel place to play some more Padel on this Saturday. So I don't really do like sports on an ultra regular basis, but I do like playing Padel. Yeah, 40. I mean, the laps were not mega long. The lap time once you're driving quick was like 31 seconds, 32 seconds. Oh my god, what is this? What the hell? What?
Round 3. Fight.
Alright guys, I'm gonna save my Home Story Cup stories for a rainy day because I have no idea what I'm looking at. But FIGARO from the UK is our Zerg player in the bottom left side, and he has casually grabbed like what, 7-8 drones to worker rush acheron in the top right side of Tokamak. What on earth is this? The disrespect. But it's not like every single drone. He left quite a few drones behind, and it's important to notice. What am I looking at? Oh my goodness, I want my money back. I want my money back. What the hell is this? Video gaming in 2025. The game really has changed there. Oh my goodness, he's losing. Oh my god, no! What was that? No! What was that? I cannot believe. Oh my poor acheron. Oh my goodness. What on earth was that? What did I just witness? Two, 4, 6, 8, and 9 drone rush. 9 drones go to the other side of the map. They start battling. They continue to battle. Lol, look at that skin, by the way. So weird. This one probe and the other. 9 probes are being chased by more. 9 drones are being chased by more than 9 probes. Which, damn it, I can speak. It is way more than 9 probes at first, but then he actually clicks most of them home. How many does he have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So 9 probes now in the main. How on earth did this go so bad? It's kind of even what's happening here. Let me just do the count. We know it's 9 drones. That number is correct. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 13 probes are chasing 9 drones. But then we click 5 home. So it's 8 against 9. Sure, probes have less HP. Or at least, probes don't have less HP. They have the same amount of HP. But probes only have shield regeneration if they're out of combat. While drones obviously have the non-stop health regeneration. But like, 9 against 8. How does this go that bad? It's just a replay bug, I think. How does this go this bad? It's 9 against 8. We are doing the silly worker drilling. So everything gets stacked. And it just seems that FIGARO keeps on attacking with everything while the probes are not attacking. This is so insane. 9 against 8. Obviously, those are not numbers that you want to fight. Probes against drones. But what? You lost nothing. It's a flawless game as well. No, I agree, Azura. You shouldn't take that fight. Also because it's so far away anyway. There's no need to play that game. Because you know that you technically have a better start. But how does that happen? How does 9 drones against 8 probes turn into 0-7? Like, the best thing you can do, guys, is just... If you guys want my answer, I think you keep at least 1. But let's say for safety, you keep 2 more probes. Then your opponent has drones here. If he wants to do this stacking thing here, whatever, be my guest. We're going to build a Zealot. Because we know that we have at least even amount of workers mining here. And if the battle is ever over, our workers can go back to mining. He cannot. So I'd say you keep 10 probes here. Let's say 11. And then you just start building a Zealot. And if the drones want to fight, they have to leave this little notch, come out, and take the fight. I mean, I cannot believe that. It's so silly. We've seen a lot of silly things in 97 weeks of the Big Brain Bouts. But, FIGARO, I was unfamiliar with your 9 drone rush. I apologize, I was unfamiliar with your game. Not many things in life tilt me, but I think if I would lose to a 9 drone rush, I'd be a little upset. There'll be like tiny puffs of smoke coming out of my ear. But this is indeed just not the fight. You don't want to do this. You don't want to play this game. I'm sorry, acheron. I'm sorry, mate. I cannot believe that. GG. That is going to do it, guys, for the Big Brain Bouts 97. The UK has been able to win 3 out of the 4 series. FIGARO walks away with $150. Acheron will still get $50 for losing against the 9 drone build. So I guess there are worse things in life than that. And I think a 24-hour uninstall is fine. But after that, I want to see you back, brother. Because you're a great player. And even if it didn't go your way today, it is what it is. There's always a next time in the Big Brain Bouts. FIGARO is very good. So there's no shame in that. Congrats to the 4 lads from the UK who managed to get the dub. Heaven, the only American that was able to win. We can go over the results together. Another Friday where we gave out 500 buckies to the video gamers. 150 goes to FIGARO, obviously 50 goes to Acheron. We had Nico, a Terran that I've never casted before, play a very strong series. So strong even that he was turning J Money Magic into a bit of content. Walk away with $60. Roscoe won a fun series against Patches, where Patches did have a very cool build on Persephone. Like, we saw stuff today. Even if we didn't have the longest series, even if we didn't have the most epic games, and we didn't obviously have Serral, Clem, Reynor, we definitely saw some stuff today. The 9 drone build, we saw the Heaven 5-minute fight, we saw the 5 Rex build of Patches on Persephone, stimming to the center of the map to heal up his units, stim again, heal up his units, and immediately run towards the top. Like, it was cool. There were some big brain plays made, and that is what it's all about. I had fun. I'll take a very, very tiny break, guys, and after that tiny break, I'll give you guys a minute or two to ask some questions or have some suggestions for upcoming Big Brain Bouts next week. I am totally ready. So feel free to shout anything you want at me. If you want to share some excitement over football or F1 this weekend, feel free to do that too. And if you guys have nothing, then I wish you guys a great weekend, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow when I'm casting StarCraft, or Sunday when I'm casting a bit of StarCraft, or Monday when I'm casting a little bit of StarCraft. Tiny break, and then feel free to give me your best suggestions or talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'll see you guys soon.